Gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Supreme Petrochem Limited Q1FY26 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then zero on a touch-tone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Ms. Nupur Janikya from Valorem Advisors. Thank you, and over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to you all. My name is Nupur Janikya from Valorem Advisors. We represent the investor relations of Supreme Petrochem Limited. On behalf of the company, I would like to thank you all for participating in the company's earnings call for the first quarter of the financial year 2026. Before we begin, a quick cautionary statement. Some of the statements made in today's conference call may be forward-looking in nature. Such forward-looking statements are subject to risk and uncertainties, which could cause actual results to differ from those anticipated. These statements are based on management's beliefs, assumptions made by and information currently available to management. Participants are cautioned not to place any undue reliance on these forward-looking statements when making any investment decisions. The purpose of today's earnings conference call is purely to educate and bring awareness about the company's fundamental business and the financial quarter under review. Now, I would like to introduce you to the management participating with us in today's earnings call and hand it over to them for their opening remarks. We have with us Mr. Rakesh Nair, Executive Director and CFO, Mr. Dilip Deolar, Chief Executive of Finance and Accounts, and Mr. J.N. Mishra, Company Secretary. Without any further delay, I request Mr. Rakesh Nair, sir, to start with his opening remarks. Thank you and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Nupur. Good evening, everybody. It is a pleasure to welcome you to the earnings conference call for the first quarter of the financial year 2026. Let me brief you on the financial performance of the quarter, followed by some of the key operational highlights. On a standalone basis, the operating income for the first quarter was approximately rupees 1,386 crores, which declined by 12% on year-on-year, mainly on account of lower SM prices. SM prices in the relevant period for the last year were around $1,150 during for the quarter, whereas this year it was around $1,000. The operating EBITDA was reportedly at approximately rupees 115 crores, which is down by 29% year-on-year. The EBITDA margin stood at 9.36% for this quarter. The net profit after tax was around rupees 81 crores for the first quarter. On the operational front, the company's sales volume of manufactured products in the first quarter of FY26 increased by 0.5% only on a year-on-year basis to 93,853 MT. Unseasonal rains and a milder summer led to subdued domestic demand for cooling appliances such as air conditioners and refrigerators. Additionally, styrene monomer prices were lower in Q1 FY26 compared to the same quarter in the previous year, which impacted revenue despite a marginal increase in the volume of manufactured products sold. On the CAPEX project, pre-commissioning activities for the first phase of the ABS project are ongoing. With support from our technical collaborators, Messrs. Versalis, we expect commercial operations now to commence in this current quarter. During the quarter, our acquisition of X-Mold Polymers was completed. The integration of X-Mold operations and processes with SPL's business is currently underway. The company continues to remain debt-free with an investable surplus of over 700 crore as at the end of June 2025. Now, with this, open the floor for question and answer sessions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from question queue, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Aditya Ketan from Smith's International Equities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. So just a couple of questions. Sir, first on to this quarter, so generally Q1 seems to be a muted quarter only when we look at the history of the last 2 to 3 years. And in this quarter, because of declining styrene prices, the numbers have been quite lower. So how you see this performance is to improve in the subsequent quarters, because this is a quarterly phenomena, and how things will pan out for the rest of the year?
Q1 is actually not really a muted quarter. It is always a better quarter. But this year, there were 2 reasons for the quarterly performance to be not in line with the previous year's quarter. One, the styrene prices, which were kind of stable, as I said in the last interaction, till mid-March or so. And thereafter, the styrene prices dropped, and by end of April, again, they became stable. So April end onwards, the prices are stable. But the fall happened within the 6 weeks or so. So that impacted the margins of the company in the first quarter, and also the OEM sales were lower because of the unseasonal rains, and which impacted their lifting for the cooling devices like ACs and refrigerators. So their sales were down. So in turn, our lifting was down, and the margins were under pressure. So these 2 were the major reasons for the performances dip this quarter.
Got it. Sir, on to the styrene prices. Sir, this much drop in prices, like drop of roughly 15-20%. This is largely because of higher capacities built up in China, and now they have started to import. Or the demand at the ground, so that is itself so faltering. So what is the reason for this?
No, see, the Chinese capacity has been there for some time now, but then the prices are a factor of many things, from crude onwards to the delta between the naphtha and benzene to SM. So I wouldn't really comment on the styrene prices, why they went down globally. But then the fact is that they are stable since April end. They were stable for the last full year, but then the 6 weeks they fell down, and that impacted our performance in this quarter.
Got it. Sir, in this quarter, sir, have we consolidated the ex-mold polymer numbers also in this quarter?
There is a consolidated results also, but what numbers I've given you, they were for the standalone results.
Okay, got it. Sir, on to the ABS part. Sir, for this fiscal FY26, sir, what volumes we are building in that we could achieve, and what numbers on top line, and for FY27 also, what could be the number we can achieve?
This will be our first year of these, and maybe 6 months of operations. First few months will certainly go in the testing, trial, acceptance of the product by the processors and the molders. So we expect that of the 6 months period, maybe we will be operating at 50 to 60%, and then we will start ramping up. But the next year, that is FY27, we expect that we should be 80% plus.
Got it. And sir, just a clarification from both the phases, from phase 1 and phase 2, combined top line would be around 2,000 crore, as we had mentioned earlier.
Yes, on a 100% capacity utilization, it will be 2,000 crores.
Okay, so sir, on this phase 1, so 50-60%, 400 to 500 crore should be the top line figure.
I have not calculated that, so I'll not comment on that, Aditya.
Got it. Sir, just one last question. Sir, onto the global demand supply dynamics, you see where is the cycle standing, like are we standing in the mid, and what are the chances like this could improve or this could be maintained like for the next couple of quarters? Any sense on this part?
See, the issue is only how the trade flows change and how the American agreements shape up with the rest of the world. And if the American agreements or disagreements with some nations, then what will those nations do, and whether they are the exporting nations or not exporting nations. So it will all depend upon that. Like say for China is exporting processed goods. They don't export any polymers. And if their goods don't go there, so the people who are exporting to China, some of the polymers, they may not find demand in China. They may have to sell it to the other regions in the world. So the trade flows are today we don't know which way they will flow. And it will all depend upon the trade flows, the way they move ahead in the future now.
Got it, sir. Sir, any outlook on the exports market, like, sir, in this fiscal FY25, we were at somewhere around 9%. And, sir, earlier we had mentioned that we are looking to increase the exports market. But for the last 2 years, it has been quite, in terms of the percentage, it has been stagnated. Absolute value has gone up, sir. What is the outlook, like, sir, we see for the next 2 years in exports market?
So the current financial year, that is FY26, we hope to go up to 13 to 14% of our revenue from exports.
13 to 14%. Okay, got it. Thank you, sir. Thank you. That's it for me.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Pritesh from Lucky Investments. Please go ahead.
Sir, I wanted to check because of styrene drop in price, and usually styrene is stored considering the consignment size that styrene has. What kind of M2M inventory loss should have flowed to the P&L?
Very difficult to define any absolute numbers of the inventory loss, because the orders are placed, have the consignments on high seas, consignments in our stocks here. So it's a continuous flow of material. So I wouldn't put any definite number on the inventory loss.
But it's fair to assume that the swing in per ton profitability or the swing in EBITDA for the price, YOY prices realization being still higher, the whole swing is to do with the styrene M2M?
Sorry, I couldn't get you. Can you repeat your question?
I'm saying the swing that we see in your profitability is largely to do with the M2M of styrene?
No, it's not only styrene. As I said, that the offtake in the season by the OEMs was also down, and with that the margins were under pressure also, because the lifting by them was low, undue seasonal rains. Their AC lifting was not there, and so in turn our sales was down. So all that is a combination of factors. It's just not the styrene prices alone.
This you are referring to on a YOY or on a QOQ basis, all this assessment of yours?
I'm talking about Y on Y.
So then the realization on YOY basis is higher, right? For the 5% drop in volumes that you have, your realization is about 150 versus 144. So then I couldn't comprehend the assessment that you're giving.
What is the number of styrene you have?
From your presentation, your sales tonnage is 184,000. Okay, now I got it. I have done one error. Okay, understood, sir.
Okay.
I understood this thing. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask question. The next question is from the line of Shailesh Raja from B&K Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Sir, in one of our recent LinkedIn posts, we highlighted that the development of new EPS grade, that is 300 HD, specific specifically targeted at helmet manufacturing. So with the government mandating 2 helmets per two-wheeler sold, so could you please elaborate on the opportunity size this presents? Have you already started supplying EPS to helmet manufacturers, or this is a new business opportunity for us?
No, we have already started. There was a great development done, but prior to that also, we were marketing and selling our stuff to the helmet manufacturers. Only thing is that this with some further improvements and some special strength has been provided in this grade, and that makes it better for the helmets. And so far, we are the only ones who are supplying to the helmet manufacturers in India.
Okay. So what is the volume that we sold, sir, last year?
I wouldn't have that number separately, please. Thank you.
Okay. But we have 100% share.
Yeah, as of today, yes.
Okay, great, sir. Sir, as mentioned in the annual report and also
100% share of the organized sector.
Okay.
Unorganized sector, so I'm not aware of that, please.
Okay. As mentioned in the annual report, with China achieving self-sufficiency in PS, so Asian exporters are increasingly focusing on India, potentially creating pricing pressure. So out of the total polystyrene market size of around 3.5 lakh tons, so what proportion is currently met through imports? And you mentioned in recent interviews that we have increased our polystyrene exports. Is this due to soft domestic volume and pricing? Since exports generally have lower profitability, as you mentioned.
Very
I wanted to know why. Yeah.
The two reasons. One, we have always been exporting. We have been exporting not only to the local Southeast Asian country, in the South countries, but Gulf also, and Africa also, Europe also. And not today, we have been exporting for last almost now 28, 29 years we are exporting. And now we have additional capacity after the implementation of our expansions. So we had slowed down on exports, but now we will be increasing our exports also. That is what we had mentioned. And as far as the imports into India is concerned, India's total market size versus imports almost close to 18 to 20% of the domestic market is fed by imports. Almost 18%. Out of the last year's market of 340,000 tons, 60,000 tons was the imports.
Okay. So additionally, with our polystyrene operation already running at 90% utilization, and this Haryana expansion still 2-3 years away, so what is the roadmap for growth in polystyrene product?
Sorry, I couldn't get you.
So our polystyrene operation already it is operating at 90% utilization, right, sir?
No, we are operating at almost 81-82%.
Okay, and Haryana expansion still 2-3 years away, right, sir?
Yeah, it is away. It is still sometimes away.
Okay. So any plans to expand polystyrene capacity in the existing facilities?
Yes, if required, we can increase capacity here. We can do some debottleneckings here. But once we are through with our ABS, then we will consider if required.
Okay. Regarding our ABS product, so what is the structure of the technical collaboration with the Western? Is the technology fee a one-time arrangement or it is an ongoing annual payment?
No, it's a one-time fees.
Okay. How much it is, sir?
I'm sorry, I won't be able to tell you that, sir.
Okay. So one last question. So one of our peers, EPAC, is significantly adding capacity. So existing line, they have a capacity of around 40,000 tons, and they are adding another 72,000 tons. So in this context, how are we? Hello?
They are adding line for?
EPS.
Okay.
So in this context, how we are preparing ourselves to de-risk from potential volume and pricing pressure?
We haven't seen their, when you say they have almost what you said, 40,000 or 48,000 tons, but no, we haven't seen any such material in the market. Okay, maybe I'm not aware then. But then we are selling our quantities.
Okay. So we are not seeing any volume pricing pressures?
So we are not seeing any threat so far to our volumes. We will maintain our volumes.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Aditya Ketan from Smith's Equities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for the follow-up. Sir, post this ABS plant, our focus now shifts to the phase 2 of ABS, or we are focusing on to developing the Haryana plant now?
So the focus will be both the projects. The ABS will be now here it will be easy to implement. That is okay, fine. But then as far as Haryana is concerned, that focus also remains there for the North market.
Got it. Sir, on to polystyrene, so generally we know it is a $150 to $200 per ton on the spreads part. So similar, sir, how much would be ABS?
ABS अभी लगने दो, फिर हम आपको अगली मीटिंग में बताएंगे.
Okay, sir, no worries. Okay. And sir, sir, when we talk on to the newer products, apart from ABS, so the newer products we would be developing into the Haryana plant only. Whatever the downstream we would be making.
Yeah, they'll be in Haryana. Only the as far as our Amdoshi is concerned, it will be more apart from ABS, it will be a compounds business.
Got it. Sir, onto the phase 2 ABS, earlier, sir, in the last call you had mentioned that would be delayed by the 1 year, so it would start technically by FY28. Any plans, sir, so we can start the plant earlier because we have developed phase 1, so we would be having the know-how.
We will make efforts, but as of now it will be in FY28 only.
It will be in FY28. Okay. And sir, just onto the numbers. So when we look, technically, so in this year FY26, ABS would not be contributing to EBITDA. It would be making loss at the EBITDA. So how you see numbers like from the existing businesses we are expecting growth, and from the ABS EBITDA, how things would look at the number on EBITDA and onto the profitability side, sir?
As far as ABS is concerned, I wouldn't rule out that we will incur zero EBITDA. I am confident we'll certainly make some money out of it. Though it will be our first 6 months of only operations and at a lower capacity, new product, acceptability issues, all those will come, testing trials. But then I'm still confident that we will be earning some contribution from that business.
Got it. And sir, for the phase 1 ABS, we could have incurred around 600 crore in capex?
Yeah, that could be the number, closer to that.
Got it. So, sir, nothing new is lined up for FY26 in terms of capex as of now?
The ongoing expenses would be there. Some money is for Panipat, some money is for our existing complex. So they will continue. We have already said we'll be spending around 200-250 crores this year.
Got it. Sir, just one last question. Sir, when we look at China, so they have developed the styrene monomer and the polystyrene capacities have also gone up considerably.
Yes.
So comparing it with India, comparing it with Supreme and other players in terms of cost structure, how you see we can compete with them, and if suppose they offload at lower prices in the global market, how competitive we could be, and could we maintain our market share in the near term?
The Chinese cost, unless they are an integrated plant, would not be lower, and most of their polystyrene plants are not integrated plants. And the plants which are in the inner part of China, which are not closer to the port, their freight cost itself would be so high that for them exports would be uneconomical. Though China gives subsidies also, a lot of subsidies, but it's only that the plants which are closer to the port areas, yes, they can export. And if they have their own, because they do a lot of processing, they don't export much polymers anywhere. They are always doing value addition by way of polymers, and every household article in all over the world you will find is from made in China only. So their only difference would be that whatever they were importing earlier, and from the countries like Taiwan, Korea, Thailand, or wherever else they were importing it from, the exports of those very countries will go down, and those countries will look at the new locations to sell their material. I would say that the fear is not so much from China, but fear is more from the other nations who were supplying to China, but now they may have to look at other territories to export.
Sir, any idea in terms of the global demand and supply, how much would be China today?
China has a capacity of close to 3 million tons of polystyrene, whereas the total worldwide demand, they are almost close to 20 to 25% of the global capacity today, or the production also.
Okay. And sir, in ABS, sir, similar, sir, how much would be the global demand and supply in ABS?
ABS also is close to same 12 million tons or so is the current demand of ABS globally.
Got it. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Levin Shah from Motilal Oswal. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. I had a question on this ABS capacity. So when is it coming on stream?
It will be in this very quarter. It will be operational now.
Okay. So by August is when we expect the plant to commercialize?
Yeah, by August end, maybe yes.
Sure. So for this full year, we'll have around approximately six to 7 months of sale that will be reported for ABS, right?
Yes, that's right.
And post commissioning the plant, how long will it take for it to stabilize in terms of output? Will it take a quarter, or it should take? We should build in more time before it actually normalizes?
So maybe 3 to 6 months is the max we are expecting.
Sure. Understood. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Nirav Timodia from Anvil Wealth. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. So, a few clarifications. Last time you mentioned that our EPS capacity of 24,000 tons was supposed to get commissioned by the end of this Q1 FY26. So where are we in terms of this capacity?
That is all also ready, but then our focus right now is on ABS, and post the ABS, then that will also get commissioned.
Correct. And sir, what we see or read around the news articles is that a lot of capacities for the petrochemicals, predominantly on the cracker part, in the Europe have been old, and some of them are getting closed also. So does this provide us an opportunity in terms of export volumes both for EPS as well as polystyrene within that geography?
True, I agree. This is what your suggestion is perfectly right. We are also considering that to look at the European area. We are already there, but then currently the European PS is also available. Demand is but low there, but then Europe is always on our horizon.
Correct. So this won't be only restricted to PS, right? We'll be also supplying some of the EPS also out of India, where possibly we have developed some grades, what you mentioned last time, which are very specialized grades and finds application outside India. So
yeah, we are exploring markets for that.
Correct. So second is on the value-added grades. Like you mentioned on in an interview that this quarter we were at 36%, but possibly on a yearly basis we normally do 40-45% of the volumes from the value-added grade. So just because of the seasonal factors, what you mentioned in the opening remarks, our value-added grades to the OEs were slightly lesser, and because of that our value-added grade proportion was impacted. Is the right assumption? And again, we'll be back to that 40-45% range by the end of this year.
We have never crossed so far 40%. We have been in the range of 35 to 40. This quarter we were at around 36%. And only thing is, just with our ABS coming in and more of ABS compounds available to us, our value-added norms may cross 40% going forward. But whether it happens in the next quarter or it happens in the fourth quarter, I can't say today, but then our target is that.
But that would be combining ABS also and not only the PS part.
ABS and ABS compounds also, we will be taking that.
Correct. So third is on the volume part, like you guided for a 12% volume growth in this financial year. So if we just do some maths, like does it also include the ABS numbers? Because what you mentioned in your opening remarks, probably 5% of the volume growth would be taken care of through the ABS. So rest 7% would be coming from rest of the products, or this 12% is?
12% it is combined with ABS, because ABS is contributing very minimal volumes this year, but then combined with ABS we hope to do 12% volume growth this year.
Correct. And so last from my side is like normally in a quarter trading turnover used to be around 20 to 23%. So what was this for this current quarter, Q1FY26? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
We got lost somewhere. You were asking something on the trading. What was the question?
Yes, sir. I was asking that last year our trading revenue was close to around 23% out of our total sales. So what was it for this current quarter, Q1FY26?
I think this quarter we were closer to 20%.
Correct, yeah. And so normally you give the breakup in terms of like within the manufacturing sales, close to around 2/3 is PS, 1/4 is EPS, and rest is XPS and compounds. So has this ratio changed this quarter, or was it in the similar lines?
It continues to be the same.
Correct. Got it, sir. Thank you so much, sir, and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, you may press star and 1 to ask question. The next question is from the line of Radha from B&K Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, in continuation with your answer to the previous participant, so if you have a one-time payment of technical fee to Versalis for ABS, so is it fair to assume that this year the profitability will be impacted because of this?
No, that is a capital cost. That does not impact the P&L.
Okay. So it will be depreciated over the years.
Yes.
So, there will be some trial run costs, etc., because of the new capacity. So you have guided for 12% volume growth. So considering all the factors, do you expect the EBITDA growth to be higher than volume growth this year?
I wouldn't make any guess on the EBITDA because EBITDA is also a factor of many other things. But then I'll only make a guess on the volumes, and volumes will be closer to 12% growth.
Okay, sir. So you've given in your presentation, you have given some of the presentations to state governments for using XPS INSU board. So as on date, how many state governments have approved this product for usage in road development and building solutions? And what is their feedback?
I don't have readily the number of how many state governments, because I think almost close to 15, 16 states if I'm right, but I wouldn't make a guess. I'll ask the relevant concerned people for this. I really don't have the ready answer for it.
Sir, any color on how is the feedback coming from them? Is there pickup in product approvals from from your interactions?
Feedback for
the product, sir, XPS INSU board.
Your feedback for?
XPS INSU board. For the product XPS INSU board. Yes, sir.
XPS insulation board is a superb product. The only issue there is that the individual houses, the row houses or the bungalows or the small houses, they are the ones who are not using it. There the sale is very minimal. But otherwise, on large institutional projects, the product is very well accepted, and all the educational institutions, hospitals, hospitality, malls, they are all using our product. So there the sale is picking up, but then the actual sale will come from the retail, and that retail, because of the many things, this involves an extra cost, so the contractors or the architects, they kind of dissuade it looks to the individual owners, or either the small contractors don't know how to make and apply these boards. So, but the sale there has not picked up. The sale from the institutional buyers is great.
Sir, could you name some of the key projects wherein they have used this product?
We have used it in all aims, just to name you one.
Mm-hmm.
And to our Zozila Pass, which was a tunnel made up near in the Kashmir, Ladakh sectors, in Zozila Pass it has been used. New Parliament House used it. Presidents. So, IIT Jodhpur is a major example of it. They used it extensively, and their air conditioning load has substantially come down.
Okay, sir. Very good to know this. The last question, your presentation talks about EPS recycling. However, I wanted to understand whether for PS also, post-consumer products are also recyclable.
The PS post-consumer waste is not much there, because the EPS goes in for packaging and extensively for all your OEM appliances, and earlier it was also in the disposable foodware. So the visibility of the EPS disposed or the post-consumer waste was very high. Whereas in the PS goes into the appliances mainly, or household goods. So there that kind of a waste is not there. Today a refrigerator is bought and used for how many years? 10 years or so in an ordinary average family, or an air conditioner is used for 10 years or so. So a washing machine is used for maybe 10 years again. So the post-consumer waste actually comes more in the case of EPS.
Okay, sir. Thanks and all the best to you.
Thanks.
Thank you. As there are no further questions from participants, I now hand the conference over to the management for closing comments. Over to you, sir.
Thank you to you all for participating in this earnings con call. If you have any other further questions or would like to know more about the company, please reach out to our investment relation manager at Q1FY26 Advisors. Thank you so much.
Thank you. On behalf of Supreme Petrochem Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines. Thank you.